What happens when you cross SpongeBob and Sweeney Todd? Sponge Todd? Sweeney Bob? That's what we're doing today. That's right, we are style swapping the worlds of SpongeBob and Sweeney Todd, and we're starting with SpongeBob. You can see the sketch getting started here. Now, I really wanted to figure out how to get this sort of darkened style, so you can see me doing a really rough sketch, because I'm going to ultimately render this a little different than my normal, because I need to get some of those deep, dark shadows. By the way, I'm Patrick. I'm an artist. I love making weird videos here on the internet and drawing pictures based on suggestions that I typically get during live streams here on YouTube or on Twitch. I'd love to see you at one of those. Please feel free to support the channel by liking, subscribing, sharing this video. For now, we're getting back to our SpongeBob here, and you can see me trying to get some of the shadows of the sponge holes. I don't really know what to call that, but we're getting the SpongeBob vibes. Right now, he looks a little bit like, what's the word I'm looking for? Encino Man? SpongeBob? What's he called? Boy, I am drawing a blank here, but you know, Neolithic SpongeBob. There's a really simple word I'm thinking of, but I can't think of it. Let me know down in the comments. Caveman. Caveman is the word. Oh my goodness. Anyways, we're working and getting in the details here. I decided to try to give him that layered ascot kind of look that Sweeney Todd has. And then, of course, he needs to be frying in his fry job, but he's not making burgers. No. He's making the best pies in London. That's right. He'll be serving up some unique meats here in Bikini Bottom. And you can see me working on that right now. Are you a big SpongeBob fan? I have not watched a lot of SpongeBob. It sort of passed me by. I've seen a few episodes here and there, and I know it's a much beloved show, and I'm sort of embarrassed to have never seen it beyond a few episodes, but you know, life gets in the way. You can't watch every show. You can only watch most shows. What is the best part of SpongeBob? Let me know. And why is it Patrick? And I'm not just saying that because Patrick is my name, although I do associate well with Patrick. You can see the pie coming together now here in this sketch. It took me a while to get the angles right on this one, but you know, that's part of drawing. You got to work on the angles. And with that, it's time for us to move into our line art. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a slightly different render style, so I'm using this sort of inky kind of brush to give it a bit more depth to the lines. So there's a little bit of light gray with the blacks so that the blacks can be even deeper in the image. Now, I was a little worried when I originally got SpongeBob and Sweeney Todd because they're just so contrasting to each other. I thought Little Mermaid and The Witcher was rough. This is like one step even further. The bright, colorful world of SpongeBob and the dark world of Sweeney Todd is a real juxtaposition. But as I started working on the render and getting some of the dark colors in here, the deep shadows, I really started to fall in love with this version of SpongeBob. It just sort of really captures something about SpongeBob in a mysterious and dark way. And as the dark lines get in here and the shadows get created more and more, it moves away from the caveman SpongeBob into definitely a SpongeBob who could exist in a similar world to that of Sweeney Todd. Mind you, SpongeBob existing at all is a bit problematic in any world. But here we have a chance to try to get him in. What world should I swap next? Is there like a really funny one you have in mind? What cute, cartoony, happy world should we put into dark, horrible places like we've done here to SpongeBob? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm always looking for new ideas and challenges to do, and your suggestions go a long way to helping me figure that out. One of the hardest parts of doing this is just coming up with new ideas. And so anytime that you can give me free ideas, I'll take them. And I was actually really happy with how this flipper and pie turned out after we worked through the problems of the sketch. And this is a really important part of art. Little art tip for anyone who's trying to grow and be an artist, that like sometimes the thing that really sucks, if you work on it and you struggle through it, eventually you get somewhere that you're really proud of. But it's a long, slow process of trying and failing and trying and failing, and that's okay. You don't have to be perfect to be an artist. You can just be yourself and try and learn and grow. That's what I do, and I'm great at being terrible and also growing. You can see some of the deep lines of the crevasse words. I'm not very fancy. I shouldn't use words I don't really know. Here we go with this weird hand that I drew, getting these shorts in here. And we're just about at the end of our Sweeney Todd Bob. Sweeney Bob? Sponge Todd. Anyways, perfect for this world though. We need to get a little bit more shadow and depth in these lines. So we're doing some hashing, some just general covering of areas that should be darker, just to get some more of that texture in. Oh, and that sponge has got to have some real gritty lines in there to truly be a sponge. And with that, I think we're basically at the end. So let's check out the final reveal of our Sweeney Sponge. Sweeney Sponge? Sponge Todd. Of our Sponge Todd. And now that SpongeBob has arrived in their world, it's time for Sweeney Todd to arrive in his. And boy, is Bikini Bottom not ready for this. Bikini Bottom or Bikini Band? I think it's Bikini Bottom. And yeah, so I start working sort of on a Mr. Krabs vibe, right? Like someone who runs a horrible place. Not that the Krusty Krab is horrible, but you know, he's a bit of a bad boss. And it gets a little bit of Steven Universe vibes, but that's sort of hard to avoid when drawing humans in the SpongeBob style, because the SpongeBob style doesn't really lend to humans. And in fact, I think usually when humans are in the show, they're just normal people, not cartoons at all. So it does, you know, make it a little bit like other styles. But yeah, we're getting in here and having a great time. I love musicals. Sweeney Todd is an interesting one. Some really beautiful music, really dark themes, but you know, lots of fun. As I said, I've only seen the movie version with Helena Bonham Carter and, you know, that very famous guy. Man, you'd think I'd be better at like making notes or something, but I'm really just going off the top of my dome here. You know, Jack Sparrow. His name will come to me in like an hour, and it'll be too late by then. Anyways, you can see this body coming together here. Nice light. I did want to give him a bit of a rounded tush and legs that sort of fit the SpongeBob world. So you can see this body doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't have to. It's a SpongeBob body. And I think in the end I also adjust this body ever so slightly just to try to give it a little bit more proportionality before moving into our sketch. Yeah, what's your favorite musical? Do you have a favorite? My favorite is probably Les Mis. It's been an old favorite of mine for basically my entire life. I really like Hamilton in recent years. It's certainly one that, you know, obviously made a big splash in the world. And I love the music in that, the style really coming through in the quality of the music. And yeah, I've seen one show on Broadway in New York. I saw Chicago and all that jazz. And I really enjoyed seeing it there. Most of the ones I've seen in Toronto because I live in Canada. What musicals have you seen, and which ones should I go see? I know there's lots of new ones coming out basically all the time, and I can't keep up with it because I'm becoming increasingly an old man. And as society moves forward, I stay stagnant in the past, like all old men. It's just a question of how far I am when I stay stagnant in that past from the present. Here we go, drawing in these scissors. Now I'm going to say I get these scissors horribly wrong, and I don't fix it at any point because I don't realize until I finish the render that the right hand here, which is the left hand, his left hand, our right, is definitely not using scissors in any way that makes any sense. But hey, flawed drawings can still be good drawings because I noticed the flaws and maybe you wouldn't, except for the fact that I pointed it out, which is in itself a flaw of what I do. And there we go. That's our Sweeney Todd and SpongeBob. That's been our world swap for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you have any in mind that you want to see, world swap suggestions or other art challenges, I'd love to hear them. I'm always looking for the next great idea that I can borrow from you to make videos. I love having fun drawing pictures here on the internet. I do it live Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Always Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays, depending on what life is doing. But we're over on Twitch and here on YouTube. So subscribe, like, do all the stuff you're supposed to do to make channels be successful. Because if you enjoyed this, I'd love to keep doing it, and that helps. The main thing I want to say is thanks so much for being here. The chance to share my art with you and to have a little laugh at my foolish brain and, you know, the imperfections that are me is a good time. I'll see you at the next one. And of course, till next time, keep being awesome. Bye. Johnny Depp. I remembered his name. Okay, bye.